Here I am again with another forgotten supercar of the 1990s video, just with a new dress. It's a trilogy at this point, starting with the Dara Commendatore 112i, proceeded with the Ital design Cala, which was supposed to be a Lamborghini first. Because, Need for Speed 2 Special Edition is a gift that just keeps on giving me some or the other supercar for me to talk about, like next video might be the Ford GT90 or the Ford Indigo, and since I already have gone through these two titles, I had to get a bit more creative with this one. So, the forgotten supercar of the 1990s is done. Another forgotten supercar of the 1990s is also done. Then I came up with the return of the forgotten supercar of the 1990s. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. So, this is how it started. In the midst of 2010, my brother loaded up a game called Need for Speed 2 SE on the old Windows XP computer that we had, and then there was the first thing we saw right after opening the game: the loading screen. More specifically, these two cars, and one car in the background for keen-eyed enthusiast, which was the Ford Mark III or Mark III Mustang, whatever. Now, apart from that, the one car on the left is pretty well known. It's the Ferrari 355. Decent Ferrari for the time. It's mid-tier supercar category, like the Ferrari F430 in the mid-2000s. But then I saw this. A complete question for me. I had never seen this car before or even knew about it. I mean, I did have to find it out, but since I was 5 at the time and didn't know much about technicalities, judging cars only on the basis of how cool they looked or how fast they drove, that was it. And since we did not have the almighty internet back then, it was a complete mystery. And then, of course, I forgot about this car. Afterwards, my brother bought this little thing. Now, this is one of those games that defined the entire franchise. It was the biggest hit of the entire lineup, and as iconic and beloved as the E46 M3 GTR became, I was also interested in the brand itself, BMW or
Bayerischer Motor and Worker.
Yes, that or Bavarian Motor Works in English. And I always wondered, mid-engine cars look so stunning and exotic, but such a brand as BMW never made one. An actual, proper mid-engine supercar.
Well, actually, they did make one in 1978 called the M1.
Shut up, I'm coming to that.
Well, then what about the i8?
I said a proper mid-engine supercar. Anyway, so I dug up the information about the BMW M1, the first M-badge BMW ever made. Based on the concept car BMW E25 Turbo, the M1 was supposed to be a race car for the road, for homologation purposes for International Sports Car Racing Series. They collaborated with Lamborghini to make the M1, but since Lamborghini were at the verge of bankruptcy due to the LM002 disaster, the contract was cancelled and BMW got their M1 back through a method better not discussed here for legal reasons. But after getting all that, BMW couldn't make enough of them to enter the race. And then the rules were changed, and then it was uncompetitive. So in short, it was a disaster, a failure even. But I guess in the long term it did work out because M badge is everywhere now and sells like popcorns in cinemas. But that didn't mean BMW did not try to make another proper mid-engine supercar, because they unveiled the BMW M12 at the 1991 Tokyo Motor Show as a start of something new and be written as the spiritual successor to the BMW M1, which evolved into the sleek, the sexy, the futuristic Nazca C2. Derived from the Bugatti ID90 concept car, another one of Ital Design's design. The looks of this car were phenomenal. It actually looked like a futuristic design that has aged very well even today, with a few exceptions. It's simple, yet adequate. It's subtle, and yet sublime. And it is to be expected to look good as it was designed by famous car designer Giorgetto Giugiaro's son, named Fabrizio. The info is a bit fickle. Some say it was Giorgetto himself and some say it's his son. But anyway, the nose low down with those iconic BMW kidney grills. Thank God they are not what they are today. And the most interesting feature of the car was its semi-gullwing doors with the windows and then the doors that opened like normal doors. Very interesting. Even the M12 had this feature. However, I do not like the rear of this car. The most noticeable part was the uni tail lights. I did not like it then, I do not like it now. Because I think it looks too tall from the back. You know, like those NFS underground body kits that stretched cars beyond their ground clearance. But apart from that, it was cool. But now, I would like to thank the sponsor of the video today, which is me, Danny R. Check out my art store where I feature my hard-earned car arts. Not as much as earned as made, but you can have one. I even featured the Lamborghini Kala with NFS2 special edition logo bearing it. So do check that out as well. And back to the video. The Nazca C2 had a longitudinally mounted, naturally aspirated 5-liter V12 called the M70 B50, which was shared by BMW 850i, which was similar to McLaren F1's V12. Ain't that something? The V12 was tuned by Alpina, another company that works with BMW to make high-performance versions of their cars. It had a dual overhead cam and 4 valves per cylinder, which produced 350 brake horsepower and 470 Newton meters of torque to the rear wheels. 5-speed manual transmission that gave a 0 to 60 time of 4.1 seconds and a top speed of 193 miles per hour or 311 kilometers per hour. Very fast and respectable for the time, and also because it had a carbon fiber monocoque chassis which was in its infancy, gave it an incredible stiffness, probably for racing purposes. 3 cars in total were produced, including the M12, of course the C2, but also a C2 Spider, which was basically a Targa top. The C2 was also featured in NFS 3 Hot Pursuit on PlayStation version, and so on. All these cars here were the replacement for the M1, at least the spiritual part of it, and could have been the second mid-engine BMW M-powered car. But no, it was this that took its place. So the age-old question, would it have survived? Predicted it for 2 cars in these previous videos. One would have survived and one just could not. So what is it, Danny? As far as BMW were concerned, they thought it was a great idea, but the story of many articles say that it was never made into production. and was sold off as prototypes and concept cars only. It can be because of the 1990s recession that BMW thought producing a high performance supercar made out of exotic materials like carbon fiber would not be an ideal decision. So they just left it at it and moved on. But while researching for this video, I got a Reddit comment which said that when BMW left Ital Designs to its own, these so-called concept cars were actually street cars that were sold out to actual customers. And since Ital Designs were not that big on money to produce these cars in the hundreds, they sold and let those cars go and considered it a successful production run. Now, I don't know how legit this comment is, but it's just a speculation after all. And when it comes to my prediction, ich weiß nicht. That means I don't know. I really don't know how could it have survived or even competed on the road and on the racetracks against the Lamborghinis, the Ferraris, the McLaren and so on. So if you have a theory, let me know in the comments down below as usual. But if I were to just say, I think it was a good looking car. It was from BMW. It is, as the spiritual successor of the M1, it would have been civilized and quite a good sports car. So I think it was a good car and I think it could have competed with other supercars for the time. But who knows now? That's why I say comment down below if you know something or if you can predict something about it. Also, I don't like the fact that Ital Designs were rejected thrice for concept cars to the production stage, like the baby Lambo Cala, Bugatti ID90 and then this BMW Nazca C2. But it is what it is. Although I would say this one thing, regardless of whether it would have survived or not, it would have the potential to be a future classic, as same as the M1, which are sold for millions of dollars today. But in conclusion, I like the Nazca C2 featured in NFS2 SE, and I loved talking about it too. So if you liked this video and would love to know more about obscure supercars like these, then like, subscribe and comment. And also do check out my art store. You may love it